Welcome to the deep dive. You send us the sources, we dig through them to find what really counts.
Exactly.
And today, we're looking at artificial intelligence again. It just moves so fast. We've got some news articles here, key updates.
Yeah, there's always something new. So our job today is basically to pull out the essentials from these recent reports for you.
Right. Cut through the noise. So let's get straight into it. First up, Windsurf.
Ah, Windsurf. They do those vibe coding tools, right, for software engineers?
That's them. Vibe coding is basically using AI chatbots to help write and edit code. You know, Cursor, Lovable, they're also in this area.
Okay. So what's the news?
Well, this is the surprising bit. They've launched their own family of AI models called SWE1.
Their own models. Wow. It's unexpected. Weren't they mostly building applications on top of other people's models?
Exactly. They have SWE1, SWE1 Lite, and SWE1 Mini. It feels like a pretty big strategic shift.
Especially with that whole $3 billion OpenAI acquisition rumor floating around. Launching their own models now.
Yeah.
Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It really does. So performance-wise, Windsurf claims the big one, SWE1, competes pretty well with models like Claude 3.5 Sonnet, GPT 4.1, Gemini 2.5 Pro, at least on their internal tests.
Okay, competitive, but maybe not quite at the absolute cutting edge for, say, complex engineering tasks.
Seems like it falls a little short of things like Claude 3.7 Sonnet there, yeah. But the smaller ones, the Elite and Mini, they'll be available for everyone, free and paid users.
And the main SW1 is just for paid users.
Just for paid. And they also claim it's actually cheaper to run than Claude 3.5 Sonnet, though no specific prices just yet.
Interesting. Cheaper is always good. But what's their main selling point, their differentiator?
They're really stressing that these models are optimized for the, and I'm quoting here, entire software engineering process, not just coding.
Okay, the whole workflow, what does that mean in practice?
Well, Nicholas Amoy, their head of research, basically said that current models often struggle when programmers jump between different tools, you know, the terminal, their code editor, searching online.
Right, developers are constantly switching contexts. That makes sense.
So Windsurf says SW1 was trained differently, using a new data model, a new training recipe, they call it. It's meant to handle like incomplete code, long tasks, working across all those different interfaces.
If they've actually cracked that, making the AI work smoothly across terminals, IDEs, browsers, that could be a really big deal for productivity.
Definitely. And they're calling SWE1 just an initial proof of concept.
Ah, so more to come likely.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
that's one to watch.
For sure. Okay, let's switch gears now. A much broader topic. Sam Altman's vision for ChatGPT's memory.
Oh, right. I saw something about this. He's thinking big picture,
Mhm.
really big.
Yeah, he talked about ChatGPT eventually remembering basically your whole life.
Your whole life. Wow. How would that even work?
His ideal model is apparently a very tiny reasoning model with 1 trillion tokens of context.
1 trillion tokens. That's
Yeah.
astronomical. Containing what exactly?
Everything. Conversations, books you've read, emails, stuff you've watched online, connected data, all constantly updated.
And presumably applying that to businesses too. So a company could reason across all its data.
Yeah, he mentioned that as well. It's this idea of total recall and reasoning across vast data sets, personal or corporate.
And he's seeing trends that suggest this is where things might head.
Apparently so. He mentioned younger people, maybe college students, people in their 20s, 30s, using ChatGPT almost like an operating system already. Uploading files, connecting data, using really complex prompts.
More than just asking it questions then. Using it for, like, life advice, decision-making.
Yeah, he contrasted that with maybe older users who might see it more as just a replacement for Google search.
Okay, so the use cases are evolving, becoming more integrated, which makes the remembering everything idea seem like a logical next step in a way.
A very powerful next step. An AI that knows your entire history, preferences, goals.
Huh?
It could be incredibly helpful, right?
In theory, yes.
Yeah.
Proactive assistance, deep personalization.
Yeah.
The potential is obvious.
But, and this is a big but, the sources also bring up the, let's say, disturbing side.
Right, the trust issue. Handing over your entire life story to a for-profit tech giant.
Exactly. What are the implications? The potential for misuse? Security risks? We've seen issues with tech companies before.
Absolutely, like that Google antitrust case. And it's not just data misuse, it's also about the AI's behavior itself.
Good point. We've seen chat bots reflecting political biases, like some Chinese bots enforcing censorship.
And then there was that Grok incident we need to talk about more,
Yeah.
spontaneously mentioning white genocide.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
Linked possibly to Elon Musk's own posts, maybe some manipulation there. It gets messy.
And even ChatGPT itself has had phases, right? Becoming weirdly sycophantic or agreeing with bad ideas.
Yeah.
Altman said they'd fix it, but
It shows these things aren't perfect. They can still, make stuff up or behave unexpectedly.
definitely. So this all-knowing assistant sounds amazing, but concentrating that power in data, it carries huge risks. It's
Ah.
very careful thought.
Absolutely. Okay, so thinking about real-world impacts, let's talk about Microsoft.
Ah, yes, the layoffs
Layoffs,
in
yeah.
Washington State, right?
Yeah, around 2,000 people recently. And the interesting part is the breakdown.
Go on.
Over 40% of those laid off were software engineers. Now, sure, Microsoft employs a lot of coders, but still, 40% of the cuts hitting that group.
That does seem disproportionate. Fewer cuts in, say, sales and marketing.
Right. And this comes, not long after CEO Satya Nadella said that AI is now writing up to 30% of Microsoft's code.
30%. That's a significant chunk.
Yeah.
So are the layoffs because of AI taking over coding jobs?
Well, Microsoft isn't saying that directly. They declined to comment on the AI link. They said it was about reducing management layers, restructuring.
Standard corporate speak, perhaps.
Mhm.
But the timing, it's hard not to connect the dots, at least potentially.
Exactly. It could be one of the first big signals, maybe, of how AI is starting to impact software engineering roles specifically.
Yeah, a potential indicator of shifts in the job market, what skills become more or less valuable, something to definitely keep an eye on.
Agreed. Okay. Now let's circle back to that Grok situation at xAI. It was pretty weird.
Very weird. The official Grok account on X just suddenly started replying to unrelated stuff with comments about white genocide in South Africa.
Yeah, just out of the blue. So what's xAI's explanation for that?
They're saying it was an unauthorized modification
Hmm.
to Grok's system prompt.
The system prompt, those are like the main instructions for the AI, right?
Exactly. High-level guidance. They claim someone changed it on Wednesday morning to make the bot give a specific response on a political topic.
Unauthorized, so like a hack or an inside job.
They didn't specify who, but they said it violated their policies and values, and they did a full investigation.
And this isn't the first time Grok's prompts have been messed with controversially, is it?
No, it's the second time they publicly admitted an unauthorized change led to weird behavior. The first was when it was censoring unflattering stuff about Trump and Musk.
Right, so what are they doing to stop this happening again? Seems like a bit of a problem.
They've announced a few steps. They're going to publish Grok's system prompts on GitHub, along with a changelog, which is interesting. More transparency.
Okay. What else?
More checks and controls around changing those prompts, apparently, and setting up a 247 monitoring team.
Seems sensible. Still, it's kind of ironic, isn't it? Given how much Elon Musk talks about the dangers of runaway AI.
It is quite ironic, yeah. And Grok has had other issues reported too, hasn't it? Like generating nude images or using pretty strong language.
Yeah, there have been reports. And organizations like Safer AI haven't ranked xAI very highly on safety practices.
Right, calling their risk management very weak. And didn't xAI miss their own deadline for releasing a safety framework?
Apparently so. It all paints a picture of, ongoing challenges with safety and control there.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's quickly wrap up what we've covered in this deep dive. We had Windsurf jumping into making its own AI models, which is a big move for them.
Right. Then Sam Altman's really long-term, maybe slightly scary vision for ChatGPT, remembering everything about you and all the risks that come with that.
Then the Microsoft layoffs, especially hitting software engineers, possibly hinting at AI's impact on jobs, even if they don't say it.
Yeah, the potential connection there is strong. And finally, the Grok incident, highlighting the ongoing struggles with AI, safety, governance, and preventing unexpected behavior.
It really shows how fast things are moving, but also how many tricky issues are cropping up all the time.
Absolutely. From new players entering the field to huge philosophical questions about data and memory to very practical concerns about jobs and AI safety, it's a lot.
It really is. So that leads us to our final thought for you listening. With all these advancements and all these potential problems we've touched on, what do you think is the most crucial thing we need to focus on? What safeguards, what ethical lines need to be drawn as AI gets deeper and deeper into our technology and our lives?
Yeah. What's the most important thing to get right moving forward? Definitely something we're thinking about.